Alright, well, hello to you watching this video. I really appreciate you clicking on the video, you know. Um, as you can tell by the title, I'm sure, you're the type of person who is aware, who likes to learn and go deeper into what is really going on in this world. And although I will tell you right now, I definitely do not have the answers. I would say I am someone who is also aware, just like you. I feel it is very important for people to express themselves and to, kind of show what they're thinking because, everyone's point of view is super important to improving this world overall. So, anyway, I went a little off topic there, but again, thank you to anyone watching this video. I I don't know what it is. Although that is a lie, I kind of do know what it is, but for some reason I just kind of have this urge to to talk, you know, to express myself, to say what I'm feeling, to say what I'm thinking. And like the title says, I'm pretty sure, just to give my POV of the world today, you know? And just to make this clear, this is my POV, you know? This is how I see the world. This is how I think, right? Everyone, every single person on this planet has their own point of view. Like, I like to say, even two twin brothers who lived in the same house, they both have completely different point of views. So I think it's super important to make that clear that this is just my point of view from my part of the world. And, you know, I don't even think I really have to say where I'm from at this point in time. I'm sure you guys can make accurate predictions just based on my voice, so I don't think that really matters right now. But anyway, I mean, let's get into the topic. So, I don't really know exactly what I'm going to talk about right now. I do have like some points I want to make, and I mean, I guess I just start off with the obvious. Today is March 20th, 2026, and the US Israel Iran war is definitely the biggest topic right now. Um, and really, if I were to just give my opinion on that whole situation, I, uh, I mean, to put it shortly, how do you say it? To make a long story short, or to kind of just give my short form of what I think. I understand both sides of the conflict. Um, I don't agree with Donald Trump's decision to be helping Israel completely, but I do understand it. You know, it makes sense. Um, Especially considering the fact that Iran has, been helping countries attack Israel, attack Ukraine. You know, Iran has literally been funding Hamas and Palestinian states for a while now, and they have also funded Russia. They have given Russia, military equipment and ammunition and all these things. Hundreds of millions of dollars worth, probably billions of dollars worth of weapons, just so that these countries can attack other countries. You know, and why is that happening exactly? So of course that's a problem. That's a major problem for the whole world, right? Iran was kind of already fueling the fire before the U.S. and Israel intervened. Um, if my history is correct, I'm pretty sure Hamas are the ones that attacked Israel first. I will have to correct that and make sure that's correct for sure. But I'm pretty sure that's how it went, you know? And I know for a fact Russia also attacked Ukraine first. Um, and, you know, that was just their agenda. They wanted to attack other countries and take over their land. And Iran was helping them accomplish those plans, right? So again, now I understand why the US is, I was gonna say interfering with Iran, but not like, I see why the US is bombing Iran, you know? Like that's what they're doing. They're literally just attacking the whole country, bombing the whole country or some parts of the country, and you know, it really makes sense. Like Iran is has not proven itself to be a very friendly country, you know? They, like I just said, they assist in attacking other countries. They have assisted in killing millions of people at this point. So, you know, and that country was being led by a complete dictator. Like, even the people of Iran were not happy with their leader. And I think that says a lot by itself. But yeah, I mean, as much as I understand the US's side of why they're attacking Iran, just so they can, you know, make them calm down and get better leaders, essentially, I don't fully agree with, like, you know, how they entered. You know, like I said, they all they've been doing is bombing Iran from the sky. Like that's just uh, understandable, but it's also very sad at the same time. It's very scary as well. You know, for the US, and again, I know the US gave Iran a lot of warnings beforehand that they wanted to talk, they wanted to negotiate, they wanted to make a peace deal, but Iran refused to join those talks. Now, um, but I still don't find that to be an excuse for the US to just come in and bomb everything, well, at the bare minimum, all their military equipment, you know? I'm glad they didn't just attack cities like it was nothing. I'm glad they did attack military equipment instead of just civilians. And, you know, at the end of the day, that obviously is one of the best strategies the US can do, just attack their defense system completely, defense and offense, you know, just destroy everything. That's great. But at the same time, it's like, you know, you're creating, the US escalated this war drastically, dramatically, you know, like this is going to have consequences for decades, I believe, if not centuries, because you can't just bomb people's things and expect to get away with it and expect and not expect to have any retaliation, you know, not expect to create hate. You know, that's exactly what you should expect. You should expect hatred, more violence, um, just a generation that has grown up into believing that, you know, you can't trust each other, that you should hate each other just because we're from a different nation, you know? And I can see that. I can see that. And I'm sure a lot of you can see it as well. Uh, like, even just that as an example, and I know this is another extreme example, but like, prime example, like 9/11, you know? After 9/11, especially after 9/11, the way Americans would look at any Middle Eastern looking person, you know, they would instantly just think they're a terrorist, right? They would instantly think they're an evil person, just because of an action that a select few extreme group of people decided to do, right? People that unfortunately did represent like a Middle Eastern country, but that doesn't represent all Middle Eastern people, right? Just like the US attacking Iran represents all Americans, it represents America, right? But it doesn't necessarily represent the mindset of every single American person. You know, not every American person is very happy right now that the US is in Iran. And I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this video that are not happy about it, but at the same time, like it does make sense, right? It does make sense, but it's just unfortunate that it makes sense. Um, but ultimately, you know, it making sense is not really the point I'm trying to make here. Um, the point I'm really trying to get across is, my point of view of how this is going is I just don't think it's good at all. I I'd be lying if I didn't say I wasn't a bit scared, but at the same time, all glory to God. I'm not scared. I I'm just worried about how this world is gonna be and how people are gonna be treating each other. I think it's just a very dangerous situation that we're in right now, like mentally as human beings, psychologically. Because like I said, once you attack a country like this, that's always going to be in people's subconscious. It's always going to be in people's conscious minds. Like, these Americans are evil. And guys, like, I know how much the world hates the US, and this will be a topic for another time. But, hatred for the US is definitely a very real thing. And the US doing this just adds fuel to that fire, Like I said, there's going to be a whole generation of kids, of young adults who grow up just hating the US. There's going to be an even bigger population of those kinds of people, right? And I mean, that's the consequence. That's the consequence you get when you bomb someone's country and kill people's family members, And that's the messed up part about it, right? Um, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but essentially, the US definitely should not have killed the supreme leader. You know, they should have done what they did with Nicolas Maduro. They should have captured him, right? And I know that is far, far, far easier said than done. Like you can't just it's very hard to capture a supreme leader of a country like Iran. Like you can't just go ground troops in Tehran and you know like kidnap the supreme leader. Like I understand it is not that easy. It's not easy at all. No one wants to do that. But just straight up killing the guy, although quote unquote he is an evil person, um, that doesn't solve anything. Killing someone does not solve anything. I don't care how evil it is. I don't care how evil that person is. Killing him is not going to solve anything. All right? Talking to him talking to you, because you are both human beings, that is how things are solved. You know? I think the US, I know the US has all the capabilities to just interrogate the guy, you know? Delve into his mind. I know for a fact the CIA knows how to delve into people's minds. All right? And why didn't you do that with him? Every single time I see an evil person or a bad person or someone who just took bad actions, for example, a school shooter or just a shooter, public shooter in general, a terrorist, whatever. Every time I see that person die, like the cops just killed them, it just it just like bugs me in a sense, because what does anyone gain from this guy dying, right? And I know sometimes they just shoot themselves, but a lot of the times, like the cops themselves just kill the person, And what does anyone gain from that? No one is ever gonna know this guy's true motives. No one is ever gonna know why, what caused this, get to the root cause of what happened. and, improve the lives of other people, just improve people's consciousness of what can happen, right? So I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say, and I don't even know where this video is going. Like, I'm kind of rambling a little, and I don't really know what I'm saying. But my point is, I'm not happy with what's going on, and I mean, I guess the biggest reason I'm making this video is because I'm not happy with what's going on, and I think it's very important for people to talk. Like I've said, it's very important for people to express themselves and hear what others are thinking, because it's exactly like what Charlie Kirk said. He once said that once people stop talking, stop expressing themselves, that's exactly when civil war breaks loose. All right. And I don't know about you, but I am not trying to head into a civil war right now at all. I don't want to be in war with anyone at all, because, guys, at the end of the day, if we all just talked, if we all just said how we felt, if we all just became a little more vulnerable to each other, and didn't care about what, like, other people judging us and what they think of us and all this nonsense, we would be in a much better place, like, consciously, for sure. And we would definitely be more united. Like, I don't understand why people are so divided in the same country, especially in the same country. Like, other countries, okay, yeah, I understand why you could be a little divided with people. But, like, when you're living in the same country, when you're going through the same thing, when you're living the same life, and you guys still don't know how to talk to each other, you still don't express yourselves to each other because you're scared of one another, like, that's a big problem. And I think that's going on a lot in this world, all over the world. And I mean, yeah, like, that's the biggest reason I'm making this video, really. I want people to see and hear that, not everyone is happy with what's going on. I would say most people are not happy with what's going on. And and I know it's hard to, like, talk about it, because a lot of people think, they can't really do anything about the situation. Like, this is way beyond them. But guys, like, you can do a lot about this situation if you just talk, if you just express, if you just say what you think. I think people will listen, because they probably think the same thing, you know? And once we all realize that we all think the exact same thing, that's when we realize all of this is just nonsense and meaningless. All these wars are just completely meaningless. What are we fighting about? Oil? A black liquid? Do you not already have enough? You know? Everyone wants to be rich, guys. Everyone wants to be at peace, most importantly. But everyone wants the same things to an extent, you know? And once you start to believe that your neighbor is a completely different person from you, just because of the country they're from or the color of their skin, that's when we're in a really bad state of society. And again, that is why I'm making this video. I I want people to realize, we are all the same person. We are all the same people. We all have the same ambitions and goals and desires, Obviously, not every single little desire is the exact same. Everyone has different desires and different things they want to accomplish. But fundamentally, like, all the basics, you know, like, we all want the same thing, okay? And we are all the same people, all right? And I think it's time that, we kind of just stop interfering with each other. Like, you stay there, you stay in your corner, and I'll stay in my corner, you know? And you do what you want to do, and I'll do what I want to do. And whatever you do, even though I think it's disgusting, even though I don't agree with it, even though, I hope I would never do it. And I don't even exactly know what I'm talking about, guys, but you know what I mean? Like, you go there, I go here. You go do whatever you want. I don't want to be part of it, and I don't care. You go do it. I do not care. You have fun, enjoy your life. You have free will. Glory to God. Thank God you have free will, and you can do whatever you want. And thank God I also have free will, and I can do whatever I want. I won't disturb you as long as you don't disturb me. All right? And I do not want to disturb you. So I think people need to really understand, like, no one cares, guys. Like, no one cares about what you're doing. And um, to kind of like tie this all together, for the US to care so much about another country's problems and not care about their own problems in their own country when we already have all the resources that we need. All right, we already have everything. And for us not to care about our own people, if you just go out in public to a city, anywhere in the US, anywhere in North America, if you just go out to a small city, you're gonna see how terrible everything is, guys. Like, and I'm sure you already know it. Anywhere in the world, I'm pretty sure if you just go out to a small city or anywhere, like, you know what I mean, just like where it's kind of populated, like, you will see the suffering, you will see the struggling. And the fact that our country for the past at least 5 years, I'd say 5 to 10 years, um, the fact that we have not cared about our own people and, been supplying other countries with a bunch of money and a bunch of natural resources and all these things when we can't even give it to our own people, that's just when we've definitely reached the point where, something is wrong. And obviously, everyone knows something is wrong. And again, that is why I'm talking here today, because the world needs to see what people are thinking. And I think this is just, a very small step on a long journey. Obviously, I don't think I alone can change anything, especially just by making this one video. But again, it is a very small step. It is a step that I hope maybe encourages some people to also give their opinions. Again, just so other people can listen to you and see how you think, what you think, and how we can all kind of just come together and get to the same destiny, guys, which I believe is happiness, okay? And peace with God. All right? But again, that is a topic for another video. And yeah, I mean, thank you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for hearing my little rant, I guess. I know I was kind of all over the place, but I hope I got my point across. Um, yeah, I probably won't be editing anything here, so and I probably won't do that for any of my videos. You guys will just kind of get the raw take of what I said, and I know sometimes I may sound whatever, but there you go. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will definitely catch you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.